Alright, so I got a new laptop. I got a new laptop, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I was kind of waiting on whether or not I should make this discussion video because I was waiting for a new computer to come in, also all that stuff. But besides that, so the topic today, as you can see from the title, is going to be, is Sui Ishida scared to kill off certain characters, or has he been choosing the wrong times to either keep a character alive or to kill them off, where they have a lot of opportunity for them to grow and they get kind of shafted, or on the lines of like he like he doesn't kill off a character for whatever reason. Now, I agree and I disagree with this, so let me explain. Alright, so if you go back to Tokyo Ghoul, I believe this is the first chapter of Tokyo Ghoul, where this is shown, you have a cover page with Heisei Sasuke. He's like laying against a tree, he's like reading a book, and you have where it's like a shocking new serialization lead cover page, and like pretty much we're talking about Tokyo Ghoul, and you see like the whole entire promotion for Tokyo Ghoul Volume 14, and also Tokyo Ghoul Zaki, the illustration book with all the cover pages that Sui Ishida has drawn, some of the character arts for the anime and for the manga, and then Ishida's like thoughts on all the stuff on it. I need to actually purchase that still. I haven't had the time to, but on the color page, right, and this is like the main reason why a lot of people say like they believe that Tokyo Ghoul's probably not going to end in a tragedy due to the way how Reese, started off. And I actually completely forgot about this until people reminded me and pointed this to me and sent me the cover page. So let me read to you what it says on it. The sky next to the tragedy is a clear blue one. Now, I do kind of agree with this, because if we're being honest, even though some people would say that within Tokyo Ghoul Re, right, you have where all this stuff right now is going on with Dragon, right? Like you have where Dragon, it was a thing. Obviously, it's not a thing anymore. You have where tons of humans are turning into ghouls. You have where Kaneki seemingly is going to defeat the main villain or whatever, but he's the one who caused everything. That would be quote-unquote tragic. I don't really think so, because the way how tragedy has always been within Tokyo Ghoul, she doesn't do tragedy for the sake of tragedy. Even though a lot of characters in TG happen to have tragic lives, I shouldn't put quotations on that because a lot of them do have tragic lives. The whole entire concept of the tragedy in TG was about Kaneki, all right? It was like, if you wrote a story about me as the lead protagonist, it'd certainly be a, tragedy. That's like a summarized version of the entire quote, because the quote goes on for like a good 2 pages, but I'm not, and I'll have like the whole thing memorized. That's like a summed up, condensed version of what it's supposed to be. So I personally believe that Tokyo Ghoul Re is not going to be a tragedy. And I think that the way how the most recent chapter with Naki, how Naki was still alive, kind of does showcase this. And I feel like Ishida, because of the fact that Tokyo Ghoul has had its tragic nature for so long, maybe Ishida doesn't really know how exactly to properly do a happy ending for the characters, especially some of the side ones. Maybe he's scared to kind of kill off certain characters where it's like, okay, I promise that, because of Tokyo Ghoul Part 1, Tokyo Ghoul Part 1 ended in tragedy. It was sad for Kaneki's character. But from a grand scheme, I need to make the story fulfilling for most of the viewers, for the people who have been sitting on for the longest time. And I also need to make it not tragic and also yet still achieve the goal. And I feel like if he kills off a bunch of characters, for example, characters who had death flags on them, like Toka, like Hinami, like Naki, like Eto, Kaneki, Furuta, Yomo. Well, Furuta's probably going to die, and Kaneki's kind of up in the air. I kind of doubt it, but he's up in the air as well. But Furuta's probably going to die. If you call off those characters because of CCG or V or some type of organization, the Clowns, it's not going to really be that tragic, because you look at the whole entire scheme and you're like, okay, yeah, it had a good ending, but it sucks that Yomo died, or it sucks that Suzuya killed Toka or something like that, and you're like, oh, well, this is not really that happy. It's kind of bittersweet, and it's not really a clear blue sky. It's more gray, So I think that's kind of the main reason. Now, we should probably talk about the Naki thing, though, because Naki, clearly he must have been popular enough where Ishida felt like that to give him a cover page, surprisingly enough. Like, I believe, I have the volume behind me, volume 10, has a cover page. Now, I'm not sure how it works in Young Jump, because I know in Shonen Jump, a lot of times characters who are usually very prominent in that volume, or happen to be very popular, tend to be the ones on the cover page. And that's how it worked with, like, for example, series like Bleach. Like, that's why I think it was Izuru was supposed to have a cover page, because he was actually very popular in Japan at the time, but it ended up being Ichigo instead, because Ichigo edged him out, since he's the main character. But like, that's how it works in, like, shonen, most shonen series. But in Tokyo Ghoul, I'm not sure how it works. But Naki actually has a surprisingly a pretty decent fan base, from what I was surprised about, because I remember one time in one of my videos I said that, like, I don't like Naki that much, and I had a whole bunch of people attack me. They're like, bro, how do you not like Naki? Naki's great, blah 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 blah, all this stuff. And I was just like, oh, I didn't realize Naki had that many fans. I guess a lot of people like him. But Naki, I actually kind of feel like if this is explained in some type of way, it might go down not necessarily well within the fandom, but people might be a little bit more prone to accept it. Whereas here, Naki and the white suits get a whole lot of hype and build up behind them because of Kaiko, and you have where they end up showing up. They're working under Eto still, since Eto was originally the leader of Algiri, and they work under her. And they're showing up, and they're about to, smash. Like, they're about to, like, destroy everything in their wake and take on Kaiko, along with the rest of the ghouls who happen to be fighting in the area, like Yomo, like Tsukiyama, Nishio, the Quinks, some of the investigators, etc. And they're all going to fight Kaiko alongside with Eto. So that's going to be interesting. Now, Naki, I almost feel like that Ashita keeping Naki alive kind of regressed the potential development that Naki actually had, with the way how he went out. He was like he went out like a warrior, bro. Like, he went out like a warrior. He was fighting. He ended up, taking on all these framed out Ogai squad members. I think it was like 3 or 4 of them. He takes them down, and he gets his head like split open, and he's like still fighting. He literally fought himself to death. And you see the scene where, like, Naki was like laying on the ground, and Misa's holding him after Kaneki like sees him, and then she's like, let him rest, he's sleeping now, or something like that. And Naki looks like he's dead. He has like blood all over his face. And then Kaneki has like this really kind of like messed up, not necessarily messed up, this melancholy expression where he legitimately felt bad about what happened. Now, I joked about this in my old reviews for the people who happen to be subbed to me back then. People know that I used to be like, oh yeah, Naki's just sleepy, he's gonna come back at some point. I guess Ashita was very serious about that, because Naki actually came back. So it could be possible that maybe what Misa was saying wasn't necessarily like symbolic. It was actually or like a metaphor or anything like that. She was actually being literal. He was legit sleeping. He was unconscious or something like that. So yeah. But besides that, that's kind of all I have to say. Sorry, someone texted me. That's kind of all I have to say when it comes to that. I don't really know how I feel about Naki coming back. I do know how I feel. I don't really like it. I kind of wish that Ashita decided to keep Naki dead, because I felt like his whole entire scene with seeing Jason in the afterlife from fighting so damn hard and like dying was actually really cool. And seemingly all that Naki lost was like his arm, because if you look at him like in the final panels, his like sleeve is like flailing in like the wind, and you see it in like 2 different panels. So hopefully we get an explanation in the next chapter 176. Hopefully. But yeah, so I feel like all these characters that kind of survived from being nearly killed are probably going to make it all the way to the end. So like Yomo, since he didn't die in the Uta fight, he's fine. I doubt any of the Quinks might die, except for maybe Mutsuki, and even that I kind of doubt. Eto probably not going to, and Naki is probably not going to, along with the rest of the white suits. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Remember, comment, subscribe as always. What do you think about Naki coming back? I don't like it. I think that was a bad move on Ashita's part, and probably something I'll go down when I talk about like the top 10 things that I don't like about the post-Dragon arc, or the Dragon arc as a whole, or even Tokyo Ghoul Re as a whole. I don't know. That'll probably be on it, because I definitely feel like this is one of the moves where Ashita really did mess up. So anyways, thanks for watching. Remember, comment, subscribe as always, guys. I love you all. Jailhawk signing out. Oh yeah, also give me feedback. What do you guys think of this new style, me having my camera? Because I bought a new camera. I think it looks good, but I kind of need to get a little bit more used. And for people who are probably gonna comment down below, like, you talk a lot with your hands, when I'm like recording like the audio, I'm usually doing hand movement, so you guys are probably gonna have to get used to that. But whatever. See you guys anyways. Bye.